Have you ever been afraid of the wrong thing? Mm-hmm. Now, in 2014, I decided that was the year I was going to run with bulls. So I started researching, maybe Mexico, maybe Spain. As it ends up, they do bull running in Illinois. Illinois is a lot easier to drive to than Spain, so I decided to go there. Cicero. Now, it was a nice day, excellent day. Brought a girlfriend, did not want to participate. She wanted to watch. And I was a little nervous, as I am on most of my adventures. There are 30 bulls in this direction. And I was told that if you stand off to the side, next to this gate, the bulls run down the middle. All right? And then you turn, you run next to them, and you slap one, and that's it. That's the whole throw. All right? Simple, easy, safe. Still a little nervous. So, I'm in the front, and a bull comes out of the gate. And he's in completely the wrong spot. I don't know who explained his job to him, but he had no idea what was going on. He comes right down that gate. And people are jumping and climbing and going every which direction you can imagine. Football mode kicked in for me, so I'm backpedaling as hard as I can, which is nowhere near as fast as a bull goes forward. The person behind me was even slower. So I hit them, and I'm scared, because this bull has long horns. Not small horns, long, pointy horns. And these things are coming right at me. His head bobs a little bit with each step. His head bobs right here, and then passes right there. Not enough room for his shoulder to fit. So his shoulder hits me in this half of my body, slams me up against the gate. I'm scared, stuck for a moment, turn, run next to the bulls, slap a couple of them. Great, excellent. No reason to be afraid of bulls. Now, after the bull run, there's this $20 thing you can do called a giant tomato fight. Very interesting. They said maybe you should bring goggles, so I had these chemistry goggles I bought from a college I worked at the time. And thought my little add-on thing could be interesting, could be fun. I think the last time I was in a food fight was like middle school. So I go over to where this is happening, and this cage they have set up looks like some sort of prison yard. It's very odd looking, with just a giant pile of tomatoes dumped in the center of it. The people are gathering near the gate. Hundreds of people are going to this tomato fight. And when we started doing soccer chants, I realized that maybe it was going to be a little more intense than a food fight. But I was in the middle of this crowd, and it became tighter and tighter. You know when you're in a tight crowd, then it becomes a little hard to breathe? Been there a few times in my life, but this grew a little bit tighter than that. And eventually, my arms were pressed to my side, just like that. The crowd became so pressed to get through the little gate into this yard that I was bodily lifted off of the ground with my hands held next to me, and I kind of wobbled like a fish like this, and we went inside. All the people spread out. I dropped down onto my feet. I'm running at these tomatoes because, we're into it now. Some people slid and they were grabbing tomatoes right at the edge of this giant pile of tomatoes. I swan dive over them, all right? That's the first moment that I realized that tomatoes are not soft. They're kind of are. They have a thick skin on them. And then just chaos broke loose. Hundreds of people throwing tomatoes randomly in any direction they choose. Now, there were some people that came prepared. They had riot gear, the full shields. I had chemistry goggles. And I had my glasses under my chemistry goggles. Now, at one point, those got knocked clean off my face. I crawled to the edge of one of the fences and found my girlfriend outside and said, how do I get out of here? She pointed the way, which was all the way on the other side of this little prison yard full of tomatoes. And I decided that I was going to make a run for it. Now, as I was going across, I got hit by dozens, hundreds of tomatoes, maybe millions. I fell. As I was crawling through tomato juice that was fully up to my shoulder, someone slipped and fell on top of me. Now I went fully submerged in tomato juice. I don't know how many. Has anyone else been fully submerged in tomato juice? One person, 2 people.
Skunks.
5, 3. I didn't expect everyone to raise their hand. That's good. Okay, I feel like I'm not alone in the world anymore. As I'm trying to swim out from this person, I felt like I was drowning in tomato juice, which some of you know what that feels like, oddly enough. But I did make it out of this gate. And now when I rinsed off, tomato was everywhere. At one point, I actually dove into a pond, and the pond turned red after this. Now, I went home and took 6 showers over the next 3 days. Tomato stuff kept coming out of my ears. It was kind of insane. It was just in me. But I realized an important lesson from this. Very important lesson that I think we all probably realized at some point. And that's that bulls are not really that dangerous, but tomatoes are. And so maybe, at some point, we need to reassess exactly what we're being scared of. That's what we should have for time, right?
Yeah, damn.
That's an intense time thing. So, on that note, that was just to emphasize the importance of this message. That we need to reassess sometimes what we're being scared of. Because maybe our attention and our focus is on something like bulls that we can actually handle and will actually turn out fine. And maybe somewhere out there you have a tomato fight right around the corner that you really should be scared of.
Yeah. Woo! Yes! And that's where Heinz came from.
Beware the tomato.
Beware. Funny.
That's Jeff.